Joining us now with more on this latest hit to our pocketbook is Nick Bontis at the McMaster DeGroote School of Business. Hello, Nick. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Nick, how long will these gas increases last this time? What is your best guess?
I predict that we're going to be seeing these increases for about 2 weeks. Ontario has still got pretty reasonable gas prices, believe it or not. If you look at provinces across the country, I mean, the only two other provinces that have cheaper gas is Alberta and Manitoba. But for those people that live in the Hamilton area, I keep on recommending that you check out hamiltongasprices.com, because if you're going to take a long road trip, it's probably worth it for you to just look around a little bit in the community, see who's got the cheapest prices.
And then go there, of course. That's where the longest lineup is going to be, too, as well. Nick, should the industry be better prepared? I mean, this fire in Nanticoke, this is what they're blaming these shortages on. Should they be better prepared so that the consumer doesn't get smacked like this every time there's a little bump in the gas situation?
Well, you know, it's impossible to predict, all the variables here. I mean, we're suffering from really a perfect storm. There was the fire in Nanticoke, but there was also the CN rail strike. We also have a really, really cold February, and we've got the war in Iraq. I mean, all these four variables have come together at once, causing these price hikes. And if you recall, we had the hurricane last year, which also caused a similar problem. And I mean, these variables are very difficult to predict.
Now, one of the things that we're looking at is one of the reasons for the high price of gasoline is the production costs out of the tar sands out west, and some of the problems they have there is trying to find quality people to work in the field. Why does Canada have to import workers? For example, there's a lot of folks coming up from Mexico to work in the oil patch. Why is that?
Well, the real quick answer is we just don't have enough laborers. I mean, the Alberta labor market is tapped out. The governments of Newfoundland and Alberta even struck a deal to have a whole bunch of Newfoundland workers migrate over to Fort McMurray. These are typically fishermen, retrain them to work on the oil sands. All of those labor workers have all been tapped out. So we really have to seek, some of our trading partners, and we've got individuals from Mexico who are going to come up. And this is actually good in the long run for Canada, because we're going to generate a lot of revenues from that oil. So, we see a lot of real estate inflation and a lot of price inflation now in northern Alberta, and we want to get that under control before it gets too late.
Nick, finally, should the education system be doing more to train workers for these jobs, for example, that are available right now in Alberta and just about everywhere, but specifically the oil sands?
I don't think we need to change. I mean, the reality of the situation is Canada is rich in natural resources, and we're very lucky for that. But the truth is the future of the world's economy is going to be in knowledge-based industries, and that's what colleges and universities are training people for. So although we do have the oil sands that are making revenues for us now and will for the next 10 to 15 years, the reality of the situation is still knowledge-based industries that are going to be the future success of Canada.
All right, Nick Bontis from the DeGroote School of Business. Thank you for this information.
Thank you.
Talk to you next week.